Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Taskeen and I welcome you all on Homeopathy Musings. Today we are going to be studying the remedy Nux Vomica, which is a very common remedy through this different perspective. We have with us Dr. Prajakta Vaidya ma'am, who will be teaching us Nux Vomica on our episode 11th of the ABC of Remedies. In case you want to know more about these remedies, which we've studied in the past episode, it's there on our YouTube channel. So I can share you the link. You can watch it for free. Before we move on, I would like to take a minute and I would like to introduce some of our courses on homeopathy musing for this year. So we've started with the integrating advanced psychological module in homeopathy course, which is taken by Dr. Ajit Kulkarni, sir. So he's basically trying to teach us 15 advanced psychological modules and its application in homeopathy. The course have already been started. We have total 4 sessions. In case you want to join, you can always register and you can avail the recording if you have missed the previous session. We'll start with another course by Dr. Shekhar Argundi, sir, where he'll teach how to get your patient talking, how to overcome the hurdles in case taking, and efficiently take the case, which is very important for a homeopath. We'll start with this course from 29th of Jan, and it will be total 4 sessions. We have another very interesting course coming up on full spectrum pediatrics. We have a lot of renowned speakers like Dr. Kajanan Dhanipkar sir, Dr. Rajul Shah ma'am, Dr. Preeti Shah, Dr. Prajakta Vaidya, among others, who will be teaching us full spectrum pediatrics, various aspects in pediatrics. We have total 12 sessions for this course. We've divided this course into 2 parts. Part 1 will be taken by Dr. Dhanipkar sir. It will start from the 6th of Feb. In fact, the early bird is ending today, which is 17th. In case you want to register, you can do so. The second part, we have a varied speakers who will be speaking about different aspects in pediatric care. Another interesting course coming up is on lanthanides, which will be taken by Dr. Jonathan Hardy. And we have total 4 sessions. This course will be starting from the 22nd of May. In case you want to register, you can always reach out to us and we'll help you out. I will put down the links of all the courses and our ABC Remedy playlist from YouTube on the chat box, and you can avail that. Without further ado, we can get started with today's session. I'll hand over to Dr. Prajakta ma'am. Stop sharing.
Okay. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so thank you, Taskeen, for all the details. I will start sharing my screen. Let me know when my screen is visible. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so today we are going to learn very important and very famous, I would say, remedy, and without which our practice will be, incomplete. The most important polycrest. We start learning this remedy from very beginning of our college life, and such a vast, effect on the body, mind, and lot of complaints can get better with this remedy. And Dr. Fatak says that it is like a everyday remedy. So that is how the Nux Vomica's importance in terms of the polycrest that we must know. Okay, so today I'm going to focus more on how do we understand the central aspect of this remedy and learn this remedy from the all the dimensions. Okay, the physical complaints and the modalities and with case. The case which I am going to present is a very classic kind of a example of Nux Vomica personality. And that poor individual did very well in terms of his skin complaints, which are very stubborn, to get the result. So I think let's see how it goes. And again, the idea is to understand the essence of this remedy because there's a lot of material available. Okay, so if you see on any software and there are a lot of books where Nux Vomica will be there and that you can of course it's a journey, so you will have to read and understand from all those source books and all. My idea is to how do we understand that in our cases and how do we understand the essence of this remedy and not just by hearting the symptoms. So if you see the common name of Nux vomica is poison nut. It belongs to the plant kingdom. Okay. The family is Loganaceae. The miasm for this remedy is Sora. So very psoric individual or personalities. Right. Now when we understand the plant kingdom, it's very important that we see what is the commonalities. Okay. Between the group of the remedies and the family of the remedies and then the individual remedy itself. So when we say kingdom plant, okay, how do we understand for people who are new to the sensation method or beginners in terms of understanding the kingdoms? We did a lot of work in terms of the how to understand the kingdom analysis in our other courses like basic course and the classroom to clinic courses. But the main idea of the plant kingdom is there is a lot of sensitivity in the patient that you'll be able to see, and to that sensitivity there is some reaction, so something which is happening externally which is very sensitive to them, and when they react to it, that sensitivity and reactivity indicates the plant kingdom. Okay. When it comes to the mineral kingdom, there's something they're talking about the structure. There's something lack in their own structure. So either they want to complete it or they need support or dependence on other individuals. That is how the language goes. And in for the animal kingdom, it is mainly there are issues of survival. There's somebody, me, always there, one versus the other, me versus you are the issue. There's somebody else is doing something which is kind of, I'm not okay with. And in the plant, there is more of whatever is happening in the surrounding. It affects me a lot. So there is a lot of sensations that you see in the plant kingdom. And there are possibilities of opposite of these sensations are also present. Okay, we'll see it further, how it goes. So if you see the family, okay, what is the family of Loganaceae deal with? Okay, so the main sensation of Loganaceae family is the sensation of being shocked, sensation of let down. Okay, and how is that shock? That shock is something which is sudden, it is violent, it sudden, which is kind of a coming immediately. Okay, and it kind of have a great impact so as to produce the paralysis or as if shattered, torn into pieces, disappointed, letting it down. So the main sensation of Loganacea family that you see here in Nux Vomica is that sudden there is shock, sudden violent kind of attack or a shock that you will see, and there is the reaction. What is the reaction to it? The passive reaction will be completely paralyzed, losing the consciousness at the mind and the bodily level. Hmm? So no movement, fainting, cannot weep. We know, right? The Ignatia is also from this family. They cannot, weep in a situation of some sudden death or sudden situation where they are unable to kind of express as if they are numb, paralyzed, right? It's from the same family. What will be the active reaction is that a lot of excitement you'll be able to see and a lot of movement. And how are those movements? Those movements are not just regular movement, very violent. So kind of for action or a movement. So convulsions, kind of, uh, the the convulsions or the movements at the bodily level, which are like very violent or kind of oppositoneous or that kind of a physical sensation would be there. Hmm? And the compensation will be there generally in a difficult situation will be more calm and composed individual that we will see. Hmm? And then we see how do we identify the remedies, then it is as per the miasm. Okay, so Dr. Shankaran sir has worked a lot on this in terms of the families and the sensation and the miasms of it. Okay, so today which we are going to talk about Nux vomica is the typhoid miasm, and Ignatia, which is of the same family, is from the cancer miasm. Okay, and the other remedies are along to the um, other miasm which we know gelsemium is a psychotic miasm. Spigelia is the malarial miasm. Okay, so how do we understand? So what generally this strychnine poisoning? The strychnine is the active alkaloid of Nux vomica seeds. So what happens? Because of this strychnine poisoning, it can the crushed seeds, they can cause a lot of violent actions on the body. Specific action is your brain or the CNS system. So there are a lot of anxiousness, restlessness, you will see. Sensations, they become acute. It's so very, very frenetic, panic kind of a situation, right? So a lot of twitching, tremors, we will see. Clonic and tonic kind of convulsions, we will see, with lot of contractions that can be seen. Severe convulsions where there can be an opisthotonous position and recess sardonicus can also be a part of strychnine poisoning. And then ultimately the respiration, circulation are kind of stimulated a lot. And if it's sustained, then it can, even cause a death due to respiratory and circulatory failure because of this prolonged convulsions. So this kind of a, situation that we are looking at. Now, if you see Nux vomica, it is when you see plant kingdom. Now, in plant kingdom, how do we understand, right? Now, if you take any mineral remedy, say if we say Kali, okay, Kalika, okay, so Kalika, it belongs to the mineral kingdom. It is from the fourth row of a periodic table and the first column. Okay, so there is a great work that is being done for the mineral chart. Now, if we have to understand the plants, okay, we have to understand the plants from the aspect of its subclass, that is the group. In that, there is a family, and in that family, there is this Nux vomica remedy. Okay. So retrospectively, if we see, Nux vomica belong to the Loganaceae family. Okay. Loganaceae family is a part of, if you see, Loganaceae family is a part of Gentiales as the order, if you can see it here. Okay. So a botanist, Mikhail Yakir and Dr. Mahesh Gandhi has done a lot of this work on the plant chart. And as per Dr. Mikhail Yakir, there are 6 subclasses of the plants. They are divided on the basis of their evolution, okay, the development of the plants. So Nux vomica, Loganacea, it comes into the 6th subclass. That is the last subclass of the dicotyledon chart. 6th subclass is also called as asterids. Okay, so Nux vomica will have the themes of Loganaceae family, where it belongs to the sensation, reaction, and all of that. It will also have the themes of the gentiles as the order. And Nux vomica will also have the themes of subclass 6, that is asterids. Okay. This is for your understanding. How do we understand the plant chart and all the subclasses, and what is the main theme? There's a lot of study that we did, also a lot of lectures that we have done in our in-depth plant module, where we have explained it, all the subclasses with the families, cases at a very detailed level. Okay. And this is as per Dr. Mahesh Gandhi's chart. It is divided, this subclass 6. There are different stages of evolution, right? So, Loganaceae comes in the gentiles as an order, and the age for the Loganaceae is the anal stage. Okay, where the main theme is of control, right? Okay. And we see the whole asterids as a 6 subclass have many, orders, and in that orders there are various families. Okay, and every family will have their own kind of a sensation or a main theme. Okay, so you see your very well-known remedies, like, remedies from solanates, that is Solanaceae family, our belladonna and hyoscyamus, and those remedies, stramonium, they all come in this, also in 6 subclass, but in solanales order. Then we see gentianales. In that, we have our family of Leucanaceae. Then we go a little bit down, we have rubiales, where there is our remedies like Coffea, Rubiaceae family. So Coffea, China, they belong to this. Another order which we see in 6 subclass is laminales, where there are labiate families are there. All our herbs which are there, right? Eucrim, marum, ossimum, santum, menthol. All these remedies are there in laminates. Okay. And in the last order, as per the age, there is asterids, where our injury remedies are there, right? That is from the compositive family that we see. Okay. So our cinnas and chamomillas and arnica. So all these families, they belong to the 6th subclass, that is asterids. Now, what is the 6th subclass? On a nutshell, if you see, the 6th subclass individuals, they are the highly developed individuals. Okay, so they have a strong ego, strong developed personalities. Okay, and their reaction to any of the situation are more powerful. Not like first subclass, where we have a remedies like, camphora, nux moscata, and ranunculaceae and opium, those kind of remedy, where people are more mild, gentle, timid, and their main action is not to fight, is basically to withdraw and not to fight. But in 6th subclass, what you see is more of, powerfully reacting for the new challenges that is coming up, new interest or any advancement. So they want to break their boundaries and kind of react to it. Okay. Power is something very, very important. They will have more of a qualities like leadership, They want to shine brightly, being special, love for power. If you see Nux Vomica, it's what kind of personality that we are looking at. So most of the personality in the six subclass would be of this, right? Then further understanding using this, dicotyledon chart, Dr. Shankaran has developed the concept of superclasses, okay, where all these families, all these orders have something which is common in them. What is that? That with the reaction, and that is the dynamic reaction, what the individuals that they show in these subclasses of asteroids and the families are, there is kind of injury. So injury is a theme for all the families or the orders in the six subclass, right? And so that is the sudden, something which is happening, sudden injury, which is violent. There's an attack, which is a very violent attack. And what is the reaction is either there is a fear or a terror, or they want to escape, run and hide. Very alert. If you see Solanacea family, tremendous fear, right? Tremendous terror that we see in stramonium, belladonna, all those remedies. Then we see injuries. Loganacea, it's a mental kind of injury and physical kind of injury and causing to paralysis, fainting. The Sinnas and Chamomillas or whatever, the composite family, they have the injury at more at a mental level. So all the injuries is a theme of it. Then something which is an impulsive reaction, something which is a violent reaction, sudden large impact, that is we see a lot of violence in this superclass. Okay, so the main dynamic action of this superclass is the injury and the sudden violent attack. And what they want to do is to run, either run with, or escape or hide, or just the terror of freezing. So fight, flight and fight mode that we see in this superclass. And this kind of a reaction, the dynamic action, is also seen not just only in the plant, but it is also seen in the other kingdoms, that is the animal kingdoms and the mineral kingdom. We have also done this superclass study in one of our lecture in our basic course. So I will ask you to, if you want, you can, learn from there. Now, going to our, today's topic, let's start from the case. Okay, so that is how you will be able to understand this personality a little bit more. So it's a case of psoriasis. Okay, and so basically this was a case. He just, it was just a walk-in type of person who just saw our clinic board and he wanted to kind of, take the treatment, and he had a complaint of one was of this psoriasis and severe constipation that he had, and 51-year-old, and we didn't have much time, to like completely take history, but he was like very strong enough and adamant that he wanted to give the case today itself, right? So this is the details as per the case taking, okay, which is elaborative as much as in that particular time that we could do. Okay. So this psoriasis, the first patch which happened was on elbow. Okay. And then it progressed upwards in the scalp, and it was on the forehead and the entire scalp which was there. Okay. And as usual, conventional, lot of medicine he had taken and was not of much use, and it used to recur. Okay. His known case of diabetes and blood pressure, and he also suffered from a typhoid, very severe kind of episode of typhoid in the past. Okay. Then with the physical generals, if we see, there were a lot of cravings in terms of spicy food, good tasty food, ice creams. He like very salty kind of food. Thirst were moderate. Perspiration, it was there only on exertion. Sleep, he was able to sleep only for 6 to 7 hours. He used to sleep on the right side. And stool, as per his complaint, was constipated a lot. Then we ask him about the nature, right? Why? Because he has these complaints, of course, that we took into consideration, but whom we are treating is important. What is the state of that person? What is the nature of that person? So that we can individualize that person, and depending on that, the remedy will be given. Okay. So he started saying that I cannot sleep if my work is not completed. So very, very enthusiastic about his work, and kind of workaholic type of a person. So unless it is done, he's not able to sleep at all. And he said there were a lot of issues in terms of my finances, and since then it is kind of more, these complaints are also aggravated, and his sleep is also affected. So there was an kind of a situation where he was working with somebody, his partner, and there was a split between the partners. So the split was because was some kind of betrayal that happened and all, and they didn't give him the his share of the profit. Okay, it was a company which had started. He was the one who kind of developed that business a lot. He worked really hard for it, and he didn't get that his profit, and there was split that happened. And they were into this metal recycling manufacture in Africa. Okay. And because then, this situation happened, he was very, very, very stressed. He said, I worked hard for this, business to grow. I traveled a lot. And, but finally, my partners say that they cannot give me anything. At least my share of profit also they didn't give me. And what was that profit? It was not some, very less money. It was almost, the profit was of 4 million. And they said, no, we can't give it. They cannot give me anything. And I was not okay with it. Why should I take it? And I was very furious. So we asked, okay, this was a situation, but what happened? What was your experience in this situation? So he said, it came to me as a big shock. Okay. So the situation and the experience become so important. So it's the experience of shock. How could they do this? It was such an unexpected. I had done all this work, and it was a big shock to me. So if you see this kind of sudden, okay, it's kind of a violent, it's a kind of attack that has happened, and it's kind of it's experiences of shock. And it happened for almost 1 year, and then I tried doing everything, but I decided I cannot take this now. So he said, okay, now nothing doing. I left it. I wanted to fight it back. I did, I could, whatever I could, but I didn't wait. What I restarted again. So this is a kind of, he didn't stay, oh, something like this happened to me. Now I cannot work. Now he'll go and somebody will go into depression, or in terms of, such a big financial loss. He could have gone into any situation. But what did he do? He restarted again. Hmm? And how? That is also important. He said, I will start this business, the same business in the same country, in the same city. Okay. I know this is very risky, but I will take that kind of a risk, and I will do it. I will not just sit silent. So this is his reaction, which is violent, which is risk taking, which is giving it back, which is reacting back, right? I can show him I want to show it to, kind of a revengeful that also you see these kind of personality will remedies, right? But what we see here is more of sensitivity that something like this happened to him and he has to react to it. So he said, I can show him only through my business and only through the competition, and I want to do that competition. He cheated on me, but he should not do something like this to anybody else in the future. And I need to, show it to him. I need to take this responsibility and kind of, show it to them. So I started my own business. Okay. So we say, okay, it is a business and you're running. So what kind of boss you are? It is to mainly understand what kind of individual he is, right? So what are your qualities? So he said, I'm a kind of a person with whom my staff is working since many years. So in the previous organization where he was working, so those people kind of came and started working with him, and they left that previous job, and that kind of loyalty that I built up in terms of me as a boss. Then my daughter is also there in the business, and people, I think, guess that because I'm very passionate about my work or my business. Okay. And then he was, okay, tell about your anger. This is what we understand as a part of personality. Then about the anger, he said, if work is not done on time, if the quality of this, quality standards for my work is not met, then I don't like it. I get very, very angry. I am very organized as a person. And if people are, not understanding, they're not serious, they're not working up to the mark, then I can get very impatient and very angry. Okay. Very punctual about time. I always reach, early whenever I have to go. Hmm. And until I reach there, there's some anxiety. So I try to kind of, reach on time. I'm good at public speaking, not yet done. So I don't know, but I think I'm good at it. Do you like nature or greenery? He said, yes, I like lot of greenery. Why? Because there were some themes of, revenge and this competition and all of that, we were seeing could look like an animal remedy. Okay. So we asked him, how are you with animals in general? It is not just to find out if it is an animal remedy, but from where, from this question, where does he take? That was the whole understanding. He said nothing as such, no kind of a feeling with animal. Then we asked him, okay, what if someone, cheats on you or ditches you? He said, I don't like it at all. And this kind of a case taking was done in order to get the maximum understanding and information at a deeper level from a patient in that short period of time. Okay. He said, I don't like if somebody cheats on me or ditches me. And I kind of, feel very bad for the one who suffers a lot. And I don't like it at all. So he said, okay, then what happens? Do you believe in revenge? He said, no, no, I don't believe in revenge. I will show that to my work. I'm very fast in my work. And if people are very slow in work, I get very, very irritated. Hmm? Then he said, okay, I feel my work should be completed on time. It should be perfect. And nobody kind of, remove any mistakes in my work. What are the fears? Fear of height. If I look down, then I feel uneasiness. And not much of dreams which were there. Hobbies, he said, I like to read a lot. Hmm? I don't read like storybooks or novel or newspaper, something from which I can gain the knowledge, right? Hmm? And with this, we gave the remedy, and the remedy which we are talking about today. Hmm? But let's understand the follow-up first, and then we see how we came to understanding of this remedy. So initial follow-up, in 1 month, there was some patches which were increased. Okay. And in the right elbow, it has increased. But so how we have to look? We have to look not just for the physical complaint, but he said my emotions were better. Hmm? And I was able to pass regularly without straining, right? And mood wise, also, I was generally feeling much calm and relaxed, and my sleep improved, though there was not much improvement at the skill level. But we thought of waiting for it because there was, change in the general levels. Then in the third month follow, it was a case during COVID time. So he said there was again some, financial loss due to lockdown, and again that kind of, stress came to me. What will happen to my family and all of that. So I wanted to kind of work on it, and that time there was aggravation little bit. There was dryness, scaling was happening, but my sleep and everything was good. My emotions were as usual better after the first follow-up that had happened. So, didn't do much. So we still consider this was a good follow-up because there was a reason for it to, get it um, aggravate. And then on 6 months onward, on fifth month onward, it started improving the skin, basically, the patches which he had. And then there was on and off, the complaint used to come and go like that. But mood was good, sleep was good, emotions were better. And at that moment of time, we were 60 to 70% better. And it followed up well, 1 year, 2 year, and it kept on happening better. There was a stressful situation which used to aggravate, but is to kind of, help him a lot. These are kind of some pictures. If you can see, a change at the scalp level, you see, right? And on his elbows, right? So we gave him the remedy, Nux Vomica. Now, how do we understand this? And this is, as I said, is a classical example. So let's understand this personality, little bit more. So that time, there were some rubrics also that we took. So industrious mania for work, fastidious anticipation, and he didn't like to talk much. Constant, constipation with difficult stool. And you see some, remedies like lycopodium, Nux vomica, carcinosin, and ignatia, sepia, all of these were coming. If you see aurum also coming, plumbum also coming, right? So these remedies were coming. But what is important from here is to how do we differentiate? Why we give Nux vomica and not lycopodium, or why not ignatia, sepia, or the other mineral remedies, right? So we gave him Nux vomica 6C potency because he was very sensitive, we thought, and there could be some aggravation, so we didn't give the higher potential. Okay, so what do we see here? So we see here somebody, a businessman who is accomplished. Okay, he's already kind of working a lot, has established a business, and there was this suddenly there's some shock that has happened, right? By the partner who kind of denied to give him the money, and that money was also big money, and it experienced as a sudden shock. And what he felt was this shock and not that betrayal, or I will do this to him, or I'll show it to them and all of that, not cheated. And how did he react? How did he react? He reacted by working on it. Okay. He works very hard, builds a business in the same country and the same city. Okay. And he tried doing this work zealously to build the entire empire from the scratch. So the kind of a personality that we see over here. Now in Nux Vomica, if you see, there are these, two important delusions that the bed evening, someone would get into it and there is no room in it, as if someone has sold the bed, or delusion, someone has sold his bed. What does this mean? It means that it shows that, that the person is trying to get back his security, is a place of security and repose, which Nux Vomica looks for and works relentlessly hard to get it. So he is a kind of a go-getter. Get it by anything, by hook or crook. Get that bed. What does that bed signify? Is his position, his power of security, his power of, where he was. And this is how, get impatiently, work hard for it, and the sudden kind of impact that they generally have. And this is the way the Naxomica can, see the world from their perspective. Hmm? So we see a lot of sensitivity and reactivity here. There was no themes of structure or the animal themes were there, right? If you understand from the ego perspective or the subclass perspective, we see a very developed kind of individual, right? The ego is very developed, the inner age, what we are talking about, right? Very, it's something between me and the world, which is the main theme of subclass 6. Hmm? Then we see sudden shock, are themes of Loganaceae family. Okay. And desire to take rapid efforts to recover from that shock. Very zealous and ardent way. And that is what Naxomica is. Okay, very ambitious, too controlling, very competitive, overbearing, and hierarchical. So it comes in the stage of row 3, the anal stage of development, doing things, controlling things, right? And Borik mentioned that it's a very good remedy for the many conditions or incidences to the modern life, mind, marriage aversion to mind, industries, mania for work, frenetic, these kind of scenarios that we see, these days. So that kind of a division. Hmm? So what is the mental picture is very, very, very angry kind of individual, impatient, hard, zealous, ambitious. Hmm? They will get things done hook by a crook. Hmm? And they're very hopeful to get it done. If you see in Loganaceae family, there is this fear of injured being. Okay. Then there's a lot of this shock ailment from where you see Gelsemium Nuxomica ignition. So there is an attack and there is a kind of fear and a shock, right? And you see other rubrics also. The loss of financial aggravate, loss of aggravate of the losing a job or a position, self-control loss of, sleep loss of aggravate, lot of anxiety is there, okay? Ambition loss of, then insanity, kind of a madness, it's a violent reaction that we see here. Lot of fears, fear what will happen, something bad will happen, fear with lot of palpitations which are felt in the heart, fear of high places, fear of like sudden impulses of his own impulses. They're scared of it, and a lot of violence. So desire to kill, desire to kind of cause the violence and sudden impulse to do it. If you see Nux Vomica is there, desire to kill with knife, desire to kill the loved ones who offended them, hmm? Desire to poison somebody, an impulse to, sudden impulse, threatening, those kind of personality we look at. And it will kind of give you an, of feeling like a animal remedy. But here what we see is more of sensitivity. Yeah. Again, you see dreams of danger, dreams of death of danger, water which is dangerous. Then you see escape desire to jump suddenly from the bed. Nux vomica is there. Desire to springs up suddenly from the bed. Nux vomica is there. And a lot of this killing and violence causing, uh, impulses that are there. Sudden manifestation, if you see, there are remedies from the Loganaceae family. Hmm? What does Patak write about this remedy? It's an everyday remedy. Okay, it corresponds to the many diseases condition in the modern man which is prone to. It's the generalities. So if you read Patak's Materia Medica, The first paragraph is itself is such a beautiful of all the remedies. If you it gets all the essence of those remedies and what we are expecting in that remedy picture that we see. Hmm? So he writes that it is useful for those person who lead a sedentary life, doing lot of mental work, always under the stress, and trained prolonged work, office work, or business care or worries. And these people, mainly to forget about their worries or, kind of a situation, they are apt to indulge in the situation like hmm, wine, women, rich stimulant food, and sedative drugs. So it's kind of a, both these kind of polarities that they see, ill effects from which they are apt to suffer. Okay. Then the sphere of action is mainly on the nerves. Okay. So it causes lot of hypersensitiveness. Okay. Physically, mentally, you see, very good remedy for digestive disturbances. So partial congestion and, indigestions are very well treated with this remedy. Hmm? Then dyspeptic person, always who select their food for experimenting, but it digests very little. Then there are a lot of spasms, convulsions, and fainting that we see. The action which is violent, which is irregularly fitful and inefficient. So a lot of twisting, jerks, paralysis we see here. Spasms, technique with consciousness, worse by slightest touch. Okay, but better by grasping tightly or when the elbow was stretched. Lightning like pain, a lot of neuralgias that we see in this remedy. Hmm? Modalities, aggravation, early morning, cold open air, drafts, wind, uncovering, all those, their habits of liquor, drugs, purgatives, overeating, sedentary habits, slightest cause can cause, anger in them. They're too much affected with noise, odors, touch, pressure of clothes at the waist, then music, wounded honor, mental shock that we can see, and amelioration from resting. Okay, resting, taking a nap, by free discharges, moist air, lying on the sides, hot drinks can make them feel better. Okay. Then, if you see Margaret Tyler's drug picture, if you of excitability with extreme sensitiveness to the pain, to the smell, noise, and movement. Insane desire to kill. In Nux Vomica, proving it came. Takes everything amiss, readily breaks into some scolding and abuse. Smaller things also, good kind of words also can cause anger in them. Very hasty. And they look malignantly at anyone who asks him anything. Something which, repeat. It seems that as if he would like to strike anyone in the face, who speaks a word to him. So irritable and uncontrollable in his disposition. Every harmless word offend them. Peevish, fiery, excited temperament. Their extravagant and frenetic actions. Quarrelsome even to the violence. Extraordinary anxiety, sadness. Cannot get over the smallest evil. Hmm? So that kind of a people, he feels everything too strongly. So a lot of sensitivity that we see. Cannot bear any noise or speaking. I remember one case with this cannot bear noise in speaking. So there was one case who was also a middle-aged man, and he came for his some issues with the ear. So the kind of so he had a lot of recurrent ear infections and kind of along with that, because of the nerves were a lot of kind of giving him the pain, and what I remember with this is that he was so sensitive. He used to stay on the, the main road over here. And that road used to kind of give sound, like sound of, vehicles and all of that. And he used to stay inside, not like exactly on the road, but he was so sensitive to the this sound. Little sound also used to kind of cause irritation, and he used to get very angry and all. So he kind of, packed his, like he made kind of a glass door, made something which is kind of noise proof, so that the noise doesn't travel, and he can like rest and, be at the good state of mind. So I just remember that, and he did also very well with Nux Vomica. So yeah, and the addiction. Okay, so addiction, it's a very good remedy for the alcoholism or any other addictions. All the stimulants, okay, because they have this lot of desire. So it's kind of a, vicious circle that they're under this pressure and work and all of that, and then they want to kind of rest and relax. So they kind of take these all stimulants too much, and then this things, it gives them such a good effect that they start feeling better. His intellectual words become easy, and the experience is so much. And then it's kind of, they get into this loop of one phase of this and another phase of going into relaxation, and there's fatigue and all of that. And that is how they kind of, develop that dependency. And this urgent need is of these agents is very, very, similar, where Nux Vomica people have this like, or the good remedy for the addiction, that we can say. Hmm? So if we see Nux Vomica, it's from the plant kingdom. It's if you see at the end or the right side, let me see if I can put the point. Yes. No. So if you can see my point, it's from the plant kingdom. Angiosperms. Angiosperms are dicotyledon and monocotyledon. That is a flowering plant. Dicotyledon, dicotyledon. In that, there are 6 subclasses. It is from the 6 subclass, that is asterids. Then it is from the order Gentiales. It is from the Annelid, from the family Loganaceae. And we have Loganaceae, Nux Vomica in it, and the other remedies of Ignitia and all of that. Okay. So if you learn the remedy from these aspects, it will be more of a wholesome learning, or learning from all the dimensions, like how we study or we take a case, no? We understand that patient from all the aspects, from his fears and hobbies and dreams and delusion, or his chief complaints and physical genders and all of that. So this is how we can learn the remedy, so that we don't have to like, kind of mug up or kind of remember. It is very easy to understand. Okay. Now let's see a little bit of comparison, because it's very important. They will look like, my repertory chart also, there were remedies like lycopodium and ignitia, and, other remedies were coming. So if you see, it comes very close to lycopodium as a remedy, because lycopodium is also very dominant, very irritable, and very impatient also. Right? But what we see, main theme in Nux Vomica, they are very, very audacious, rash, they're ardent. Hook or crook, they will get the things done. But Lycopodium, they will look like that, because of their dominance and impatience, but they're not so ardent. Okay. These Nux Vomica people will be more of, impulsive, risk taking, not scared of consequences, which we saw in our patient. But in Lycopodium, they will be like little cautious. They will be want to do it, very ambitious, and they want to do it. But if there is anything big, kind of a obstacle will come, they will get scared. So they will kind of, very cautious to take a very step by step kind of attitude, calculative kind of a risk, and all of that we will see. So we see more of cowardice feeling in the Lycopodium against the Nux Vomica. They are more ardent, a very, very explosive, impulsive, taking a risk. In childhood, also, if you see as a person, then lycopodium will be more of introvert kind of a nature, and Nux vomica will be more like, extrovert, taking the leadership responsibilities and all of that. That is how we can differentiate. Mm. It also come very similar like sulfur because of that, look similar, but they're very complement to each other. Why? Because they have completely opposite state of Nux vomica in sulfur. So we see Nux vomica are like very clean, tidy kind of Indian. Sulfur will be very dirty. His attitude will be more of lazy and careless, and these people will be more ardent and vehement. And in terms of the thermals also, we can see sulfur is more of hot. Nux vomica will be chill. Then jealousy. Nux vomica will see a lot of jealousy, maliciousness, vindictiveness. So comes very similar to these remedies like Apis mellifica. It's an animal remedy, right? Insect quality. So they will be, how will it differentiate? So it will be more of a busy, restless, and animal qualities, insect qualities will be there, right? Nux vomica, they will be more of quarrelsome, rather than causing any violence, they will be more of quarrelsome and kind of a action. It's a belonging more sensitivity, you will see. In hyoscyamus also, you will see sensitivity. It belongs to the plant remedy only, Solanaceae family. But there will be some of foolishness and shamelessness that we see in hyoscyamus, and suffered wrong and all of that will be more in delirious stage in hyoscyamus. It can look like Lachesis, that person who was, if he would have been more revengeful. But that revenge is also absent because it's an animal remedy. Lachesis, there's this planning and plotting, you will see a lot of importance given. And sarcasm will be more in Lachesis, which will not be there in Nux vomica. That is how we can differentiate. Hmm? Nux vomica and sepia, they are kind of, sepia could be acute of Nux vomica and vice versa, because they are also very work oriented, business and occupation and irritability, indifference, and a lot of these things will be seen. But in sepia, there will be more of this conflict that we see, themes of what I should do, what something which I really want to do, or at a personal level what I am feeling and going through, and there are some restrictions. And this kind of a constant conflict which is there in sepia, which generally not there in Nux vomica, but this is a very good remedy. So they might, sepia people might need Nux vomica, or Nux vomica can need sepia in between as an acute remedy. Hmm? And lastly, a recent case when we were talking about the addiction. I'm treating one case and it's a very good follow-up. I think it's been more than 8 months. Very good follow-up where is a 54-year-old male, okay, known case of diabetes and hypertension, but he came mainly with for this alcohol addiction. Again, very classic, Nux vomica state, very short-tempered, very angry, kind of individual. Contradiction aggravate. People are slow, shouting, throwing in anger. His, wife and daughter are affected with it. Workaholic. And so he used to work. He used to work. He's a civil engineer, so working. Plus, he used to have like time in the evening, and he used to say that time I started doing business, and I never wanted to do a job, but somehow I wasn't caught up into that situation. But when I got the opportunity, I learned to how to do the business, and I kind of worked a lot, and he really became successful in doing it, and now he's just doing the business. But there was this sudden loss of money that has happened because one site was suddenly got closed, and that kind of impacted him a lot, and that is how he went into this alcoholism. And it's been many many years, a chronic alcoholic addiction that he has. And we've given Nux vomica to him and he's doing really well. Maybe in the coming time, if I get, 1.5 years follow-up, we might present that case. But very good case and very good scope, in homeopathy for uh, these complaints that we can see. Very strong person, very leadership qualities that we can see. So yeah, this is what I had to talk about Nux Vomica. And I hope it helps you all to understand the essence of a remedy. How do we understand the features of the Loganacea, features of the six subclass and six superclass over here through the cases. That was the whole attempt. Any questions? Yeah, Taskin, over to you.
Yes, ma'am. I don't see any further questions on the chat. Yeah, there's one by Subha that was so informative and gave a very helpful insight into the remedy. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. Any questions? If you're wrong, you can just put it in the chat box. I've shared the links of the upcoming courses on the chat box in case you all are interested. I've also shared the link of ABC Remedy playlist, the previous remedies that we've spoken in the previous episode. You can watch them for free on our YouTube channel. So do go ahead and give it a watch. Anna says, thank you so much. Jay Kumar says, thank you, ma'am. Excellent session. Will the recording be available? Yes, it will be on our YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Yes, ma'am. I think we don't have any question. We can close for today's session. Thank you all for joining. Thank you, ma'am, for
Thank
listening.
you. Thank you all for joining and your enthusiasm to learn. And this we will keep it available on our YouTube channel. You all can go there. Other remedies, what we did in our ABC um, course that you can see, learn from them. Please share your feedback. Um, and we will see you all for our next session. Okay, next month. Thank
Yes.
you. Bye.